June 16, 2018, Kazan, Russia. A referee stops the game, jogs to the sideline, and stares at a screen for the very first time in World Cup history. That one review, a penalty for France against Australia, was the moment VAR arrived in the biggest tournament on Earth. It was supposed to end bad refereeing forever. It didn't. Here are 5 times the system built to fix football's mistakes made a brand new one, including one so bad the people who run it had to release the actual audio and apologize.
Welcome back to Football Actually. If you've watched our VAR explainer, Video 3, you know how the system is supposed to work. Today we're covering what happens when it doesn't. We've got one honorable mention, a case where the technology actually got the call completely right, and it still felt like the biggest disaster of them all. Then a countdown of 4 real incidents, from a marginal offside line that broke a pundit's patience to a mistake so severe the people in charge had to publish the recording of the exact moment it happened. Near the end, we're breaking down a rule most fans don't know exists, the actual threshold VAR is supposed to use before it even gets involved. Let's start with the call that was technically correct and still ruined a night.
April 17, 2019. Champions League quarterfinal, second leg. Manchester City need a win to go through. Deep into stoppage time, they get one. A striker finishes from close range, the stadium erupts. City think they're through. Then VAR steps in. It turns out the City forward who set up the goal had received the ball a fraction offside, genuinely marginally offside, confirmed on review. The goal is disallowed. Tottenham go through instead, on away goals, and reach their first ever Champions League final that season. Here's why this is an honorable mention and not a real disaster. The technology did exactly its job. The call was correct. But City's players and fans experienced it exactly like every failure on this list. A goal ripped away in the cruelest possible moment. It's proof that even when VAR works perfectly, it can still feel like the system failed you. Late December 2019. Anfield. Wolves think they've equalized until VAR draws its offside line and finds a teammate marginally ahead of the last defender in the build-up. Marginal doesn't begin to cover it. Pundits at the time called it a matter of centimeters, maybe less. Liverpool hang on to win 1-0. Former Liverpool captain Graham Souness, working as a pundit that night, said on air, "We cannot go on like this," arguing the technology had gotten so precise it was punishing offside positions no referee could ever have called live, and no fan in the stadium could even see. This exact kind of call became the defining complaint of VAR's entire first season in the Premier League. March 6, 2019. Champions League round of 16, second leg. Manchester United are trailing PSG on aggregate and deep into stoppage time when a shot cannons off a PSG defender's raised arm inside the box. The referee doesn't even give a foul in real time. He just awards a corner. Then VAR intervenes for what UEFA later called a serious missed incident. The defender's arm, they explained, was away from his body, making it bigger and stopping the ball. Penalty awarded in the 94th minute in an away leg in the Champions League. Manchester United's forward converts. United go through 3-2 on aggregate, the first team in European Cup history to overturn a 2-0 home leg deficit and win. PSG's forward Neymar called the decision a disgrace afterward. It remains one of the most argued about penalties VAR has ever awarded. November 22, 2022. Argentina's opening match of the World Cup, one of the tournament favorites against massive underdogs Saudi Arabia. In the first half alone, Argentina have 3 goals disallowed for offside, 1 from Lionel Messi, 2 from Lautaro Martinez, all caught by the new semi-automated offside system making its World Cup debut. None of the 3 calls were ever overturned, but the closest one sparked real debate. Critics argued the system's defender tracking looked confusing on replay, questioning whether the right defending player was even used to draw the line. Argentina, stunned and without a single goal that stood, go on to lose 2-1 in one of the biggest shocks in World Cup history. September 30th, 2023. 34 minutes in, Liverpool's forward finishes a through ball to make it 1-0. It's onside, clearly onside on replay.
But in the VAR booth, the review is checked so fast that the officials mistakenly believe the on-field call was already goal when it was actually offside. They tell the referee to let the disallowed call stand when they meant the opposite. The goal is wiped off the board. Liverpool, already down to 10 men after an earlier red card, go on to lose 2-1. 3 days later, the Premier League's referees body takes the almost unheard-of step of publicly releasing the VAR audio itself. You can hear the review officials realize their own mistake in real time and issues a formal apology for what they called significant human error. It remains the clearest, most concretely proven VAR failure in Premier League history. Not a judgment call anyone can defend, just a mistake on the record in the officials' own voices.
After 5 incidents like that, it's easy to assume VAR checks everything. It doesn't, and this is the part almost nobody outside officiating actually understands. VAR is only supposed to step in for a clear and obvious error, or a serious missed incident, on 4 specific decision types: goals, penalties, straight red cards, and mistaken identity. A borderline foul the referee judged one way in real time usually stays that way, even if a slow-motion replay makes it look different. The standard is clearly wrong, not arguable. Offside is treated differently on purpose. It's a factual, measurable line, not a judgment call, so VAR checks it with full precision every single time a goal is scored. That's exactly why 3 of tonight's 5 incidents were offside calls. The rule that gets 0 benefit of the doubt is also the one that generates the most controversy.
3 questions before we go. Answers in the description if you want to check yourself. Question 1. In the honorable mention, was the VAR call actually wrong or was it correct? Question 2. How many goals did Argentina have disallowed in the first half against Saudi Arabia at the 2022 World Cup? Question 3. Under VAR's actual protocol, which one type of decision gets checked with full precision every time, with no clear and obvious error threshold at all? If you want the full breakdown of how VAR is actually supposed to work, start to finish, video number 3 covers the whole process. And if handball controversies are more your thing, video number 13 has 6 more real incidents just like these. Out of tonight's 5, which one do you think is the worst? The penalty for a foul nobody saw, or the mistake they had to release the audio for? Argue about it in the comments. I read all of it. See you in the next one.